Lincoln Fish takes me on a tour of his marijuana shop in unincorporated El Cajon. He is the founder and CEO of Outco, where he legally sells a wide variety of pot products. He says most people still come to buy bud so they can roll their own joints, but there's a lot more to choose from.
These are pre-rolls that we make on site, but these are stronger because this is what's called an infused pre-roll. So we put the bud on the inside, but then we take the oil that is extracted from the plant and the keef, which is the kind of powdery substance that comes off, and we roll it in the keef.
Then there are the topicals, the vapes, and what are called tinctures, a liquid infused with cannabis that's often used as medicine. The effects of the many products at Outco may be known to the people who use them, but little is known about how they might affect most people or why they work the way they do. That's because these products cannot be legally studied due to federal law, which calls marijuana a Schedule I narcotic. Democratic Congressman Scott Peters has sponsored a bill called the Dank Act. It would shield researchers from legal sanctions for acquiring and testing state-legal cannabis products. The bill would also create new priorities for studying marijuana products.
So the idea behind this act is to develop a national research agenda so we can measure safety, efficacy, long-term effects, the mechanisms of use, maybe develop a sobriety test. All those things need to happen with cannabis around the country.
The Dank Act would establish 10 marijuana research centers around the country. One of them would most likely be at UC San Diego. Psychiatry professor Igor Grant is the director of UCSD's Center for Medicinal Cannabis Research. UCSD has been studying marijuana for 2 decades, but Grant says the explosion of the marijuana industry in states where it's legal has created many new questions.
For example, in California, people are getting products with many different strengths of THC, many combinations of CBD and THC and other products. They're also taking them, not necessarily by smoking a joint, but by vaporizing in some other way, or maybe taking it by mouth, maybe even rubbing it under their skin, so on and so forth. We know very little about how these products really are absorbed into the body, metabolized, and work.
THC is the chemical in pot that makes you high. It also has some proven medicinal effects. One effect of cannabis that Grant says is well documented is pain relief. Mark Wallace, professor of anesthesiology at UCSD, spoke on the topic at a news conference late last month. He said the correct use of cannabis by people with chronic pain shows impressive results.
We were seeing reductions in pain, reduction in opioids, and even elimination of opioids in the patients. And this was resulting in pain relief, improved sleep, improved function.
Also at that press conference was Colin Wells, an Afghan war veteran who credits cannabis for getting him off opioids.
I had a crippling opiate addiction for most of my life, compounded by my traumas in Afghanistan. Cannabis finally, after decades, empowered me with the ability to search within myself the strength to overcome my addiction.
So far, there is no known opposition to Peters' Dank Act, which he calls bipartisan, as it has a Republican co-sponsor, David Joyce from Ohio. Back at the Outco cannabis shop, Lincoln Fish has plenty of advice for what kind of cannabis works for what ailments, but he admits he doesn't know why it works.
It would be great to understand better, like, you have this issue, what should I be giving you? What should your dosage be? What is the best form for you to be taking this? And so we know a lot of it anecdotally, but if we could have some significant large-scale double-blind kind of studies, we could learn a lot more.
For now, marijuana used for medical research all comes from the same federally sanctioned farm in Mississippi. Some pot vendors say the quality of that marijuana is poor and way behind the times. Igor Grant admits that given the products available today, what they get from that Mississippi farm does not reflect what's sold on the marijuana market. Thanks for watching. I'm Thomas Fudge with KPBS News. I cover science and technology, and if you want to see more, go ahead and like this video, then hit the subscribe button.